So, good morning. This is Ron. Welcome to Story Time. It's Thursday. Yes, it is Thursday. Let's see. I believe it's the 19th. And January 19th, 2017. It is 6:11 a.m. And I'm recording this episode of Story Time live at Lovebirds Cafe. And last couple of days ago, we did selections from Where the Sidewalk Ends, the poems and drawings of Shel Silverstein. And today I'm going to pick up with that and continue on in that direction. So first one is called Invention. I've done it. I've done it. Guess what I've done? Invented a light that plugs into the sun. The sun is bright enough. The bulb is strong enough. But oh, there's only one thing wrong. The cord ain't long enough. The Googies are coming. The Googies are coming, the old people say, to buy little children and take them away. 50 cents for fat ones, 20 cents for lean ones, 15 cents for dirty ones, 30 cents for clean ones, a nickel each for mean ones. The Googies are coming, and maybe tonight, to buy little children and lock them up tight. 80 cents for husky ones, quarter for the weak ones, penny for each noisy ones, $1 for the meek ones. 40 cents for happy ones, 11 cents for sad ones. And kiddies, when they come to buy, it won't do any good to cry. But just between yourself and I, they never buy the bad ones. For sale. One sister for sale, one sister for sale, one crying and spying young sister for sale. I'm really not kidding, so who'll start the bidding? Do I hear $1, a nickel, a penny? Oh, isn't there any one kid who will buy this old sister for sale? This crying and spying young sister for sale? Sleeping sardines. I'm tired of eating just beans, says I. So I opened a can of sardines. But they started to squeak. Hey, we're trying to sleep. We were snuggled up tight till you let in the light. You big silly sap, let us finish our nap. Now close up the lid. So that's what I did. Will somebody please pass the beans? 1 inch tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd ride a worm to school. The teardrop of a crying ant would be your swimming pool. A crumb of cake would be a feast, and last you 7 days at least. A flea would be a frightening beast if you were 1 inch tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd walk beneath the door, and it would take about a month to get down to the store. A bit of fluff would be your bed. You'd swing upon a spider's thread and wear a thimble on your head if you were 1 inch tall. You'd surf across the kitchen sink upon a stick of gum. You couldn't hug your mama. You'd just have to hug her thumb. You'd run from people's feet in fright. To move a pen would take all night. This poem took 14 years to write because I'm just 1 inch tall. Enter the deserted house, or enter this deserted house. But please walk softly as you do. Frogs dwell here and crickets too. Ain't no ceiling, only blue. Jays dwell here and sunbeams too. Floors are flowers, take a few. Ferns grow here and daisies too. Whoosh, swoosh, to-wit, to-woo. Bats dwell here and hoot owls too. Ha-ha-ha, hee-hee, hoo-hoo. Gnomes dwell here and goblins too. And my child, I thought you knew I dwell here, and so do you. Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left ankle is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent, my spine ain't straight, my temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk, I cannot hear. There's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail, and my heart is... What? What's that? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play. Upstairs. There's a family of wrens who live upstairs, upstairs, upstairs. Inside my hat I'll cozy in my hair, my hair, my hair. I've moved a dozen times and still they're there, they're there, they're there. I'd like to get away from them, but where, but where, but where? This hat just isn't big enough to share, to share, to share. But now I see you're bored and you don't care, don't care, don't care about the wrens who live inside my hair, my hair, my hair. The garden. Old man Simon planted a diamond, grew himself a garden the likes of none. Sprouts all growing, coming up glowing, fruits of jewels all shining in the sun, colors of the rainbow, see the sun and rain grow, sapphires and rubies on ivory vines, grapes of jade, just ripening in the shade, just ready for the squeezing into green jade wine. Pure gold corn there, blowing in the warm air, old crow nibbling on the amethyst seeds. In between the diamonds, old man Simon crawls about pulling out platinum weeds. Pink pearl berries, all you can carry. Put them in a bushel and haul them into town. Up in the tree, there's opal nuts and gold pears. Hurry quick, grab a stick, and shake some down. Take a silver tater, emerald tomato, fresh plump coral melons hanging in reach. Old man Simon, digging in his diamonds, stops and rests and dreams about one real peach. Jumping rope. This started out as a jumping rope. You'd probably think that I'm a dope, but this started out as a jumping rope, and now I fear there is no hope. But this started out as a jumping rope. Who? Who can kick a football from here out to Afghanistan? I can. Who fought tigers in the street while all the policemen ran and hid? I did. Who will fly and have X-ray eyes and be known as the man no bullet can kill? I will. Who can sit and tell lies all night? I might. Ridiculous Rose. Her mama said, "Don't eat with your fingers." "Okay," said Ridiculous Rose. So she ate with her toes. Where the sidewalk ends. There's a place where the sidewalk ends and before the street begins. And there the grass grows soft and white. And there the sun burns crimson bright. And there the moon bird rests from his flight to cool in the peppermint wind. Let us leave this place where the smoke blows black and the dark street winds and winds and bends. Past the pits where the asphalt flowers grow, we shall walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and watch where the chalk-white arrows go to the place where the sidewalk ends. Yes, we'll walk with a walk that is measured and slow, and we'll go where the chalk-white arrows go. For the children, they mark, and the children, they know, the place where the sidewalk ends. Snowman. 'Twas the first day of the springtime, and the snowman stood alone as the winter snows were melting, and the pine trees seemed to groan. "Ah, you poor, sad, smiling snowman, you'll be melting by and by." Said the snowman, "What a pity, for I'd like to see July." "Yes, I'd like to see July, and please don't ask me why. But I'd like to, yes, I'd like to. Oh, I'd like to see July." Chirped a robin just arriving. Seasons come and seasons go, and the greatest ice must crumble when its flowers time to grow. And as one thing is beginning, so another must die. And there's never been a snowman who's ever seen July. No, they never see July, no matter how they try. No, they never, ever, never, ever, never see July. But the snowman sniffed his carrot nose and said, "At least I'll try." And he bravely smiled his frosty smile and blinked his coal-black eye. And there he stood and faced the sun, a-blazing from the sky. And I really cannot tell you if he ever saw July. Did he ever see July? You can guess as well as I if he ever saw July. The crocodile toothache. The crocodile went to the dentist and sat down in the chair. And the dentist said, "Now tell me, sir, why does it hurt and where?" And the crocodile said, "I'll tell you the truth. I have a terrible ache in my tooth." And he opened his jaws so wide, that the dentist, he climbed right inside. And the dentist laughed. "Oh, isn't this fun?" as he pulled the teeth out one by one. And the crocodile cried, "You're hurting me so. Please put down your pliers and let me go." But the dentist just laughed with a ho, ho, ho. And he said, "I still have 12 to go." "Oops, that's the wrong one," I confess. But what's one crocodile's tooth more or less? Then suddenly the jaws went snap, and the dentist was gone, right off the map. And where he went, one could only guess, to north or south or east or west. He left no forwarding address. But what's one dentist more or less? Thumbs. Oh, the thumbsucker's thumb may look wrinkled and wet and withered and white as the snow, but the taste of a thumb is the sweetest taste yet, as only we thumbsuckers know. Wild boar. If you tell me the wild boar has 20 teeth, I'll say, "Why, sure." Or say that he has 33. That number's quite all right with me. Or scream that he has 99. I'll never say that you're lying. For the number of teeth in a wild boar's mouth is a subject I'm glad I know nothing about. Lester. Lester was given a magic wish by the goblin who lives in the banyan tree. And with his wish, he wished for 2 more wishes. So now, instead of just 1 wish, he cleverly had 3. And with each of these, he simply wished for 3 more wishes, which gave him 3 old wishes plus 9 new. And with each of these 12, he slightly wished for 3 more wishes, which added up to 46, or is it 52? Well, anyway, he used each wish to wish for wishes till he had 5,7,018,034. And then he spread them on the ground and clapped his hands, danced around, and skipped and sang, and then sat down and wished for more, and more, and more. They multiplied while other people smiled and cried, and loved and reached and touched and felt. Lester sat amid his wealth stacked mountain high like stacks of gold, sat and counted, and grew old. Then one Thursday night they found him, dead, with his wishes piled around him. And they counted the lot and found that not a single one was missing, all shiny and new. Here, take a few, and think of Lester as you do. In a world of apples and kisses and shoes, he wasted his wishes on wishing. And I guess I'll go ahead and read Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout. Would not take the garbage out one more time because I just love it. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pots and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams. And though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the can, it covered the floor, cracked the window, and blocked the door with bacon rinds and chicken bones, drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, peach pits, orange peel, gloppy glumps of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of blackburn buttered toast, gristly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled on down the hall. It raised the roof, it broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery, blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high that it finally touched the sky, and all the neighbors moved away, and none of her friends would come to play. And finally, Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the state, from New York to the Golden Gate, and there, in the garbage she did hate, poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. And that's going to do it for today. That was some selections from Where the Sidewalk Ends, the poems and drawings of Shel Silverstein. Shel Silverstein is the author of The Giving Tree and many other books of prose and poetry. He also wrote songs, drew cartoons, sang, played the guitar, and loved to have a good time. And I don't know why on the back of the book they're referring to him in the past tense. And it says here, come in for Where the Sidewalk Ends, Shel Silverstein's world begins. You'll meet a boy who turns into a TV set and a girl who eats a whale. The unicorn and the bloath live there, so does Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout, who will not take the garbage out. It is a place where you wash your shadow and plant diamond gardens, a place where shoes fly sisters are auctioned off, and crocodiles go to the dentist. Shel Silverstein's masterful collection of poems and drawings is at once outrageously funny and profound. And again, I picked this because I first heard of Shel Silverstein on the Dr. Demento show 20, 30 years ago, and with the serious Cynthia Sylvia Stout poem that he read himself. And also there's another poem about some type of a marijuana smoking contest. I don't remember what it was called, but that was kind of interesting as well. So, but I find that his poems are always surprising. You're not quite sure exactly what to expect with Mr. Silverstein, and that's why I really enjoy reading them. And I hope you've enjoyed listening to them. And next time on Storytime is going to be next Monday, which is, let's see, today is the 19th, 23rd, January 23rd. So at about the same time. And I hope you'll join me then. And have a great day and a great weekend.